First, yeah. So cool. So I
Yeah,
guess I can just start whenever.
absolutely. I've introduced Michael before. He is the CEO of Market Pie, a marketing agency or company. I don't know which.
Agency is a
I
good word.
Yeah,
Agency sounds
marketing
bigger than
agency
company.
in Ontario. Um, he has graciously donated his time to be my marketing chair, as well as to promote membership growth within clubs and within the district. So he's offering marketing insight. And the beauty of Michael is that he's got a very down to earth and easy to understand approach that takes away the pressure for someone like me who doesn't like to sell to my community. I'm going to learn marketing tools that will help me promote what's already amazing that I never thought about promoting before. I'm
Hmm.
totally overselling this. I meant to just talk about Michael's awesome attributes.
Whew.
So I'm going to let Michael take it away because his talent speaks for itself. Go ahead, Michael.
Nice.
My goodness, do I have the biggest shoes to fill now? Thank you so much, Melinda. And guys, I really appreciate everyone that's coming out to the live trainings, and to all everyone else that's going to be watching this afterwards. There's a lot of webinars going on. There's a lot of things. As we were just talking before this, there's just so much that we could possibly be doing right now. And I'm just really grateful that you guys took some time, not just for yourselves to come out to this, but also to help your club, to help all the other members that, really need someone to take that leadership in promoting clubs, in promoting Toastmasters. As you're going to kind of hear later on in the presentation, I'm kind of a lead from behind sort of person. Yes, I'm the CEO of my company and that, but I'm not the sort of person that likes to kind of lead from the front and saying, "Hey, I'm the person, I'm the guy that does it all," all the glory kind of side. I really believe that head office isn't going to save us. I really believe that the corporation's not going to be the one that really makes the biggest impact for Toastmasters. I really just believe that the biggest impact that is made in our clubs, and as well as the biggest impact for marketing our clubs, comes from the people that are kind of in it. So with that, I got a couple of little slides. This is a Q&A open forum kind of situation. I really want to encourage you guys to use the chat to interrupt. If it's something that's super important, I feel free if you just jumped in, unmuted yourself and jumped in. But Melinda's also going to be watching the chat, and if you'd prefer, she'll be the one interrupting me if you just want to lead some questions in, and she'll pick a good time to ask the question. But I really want you guys to get the most value out of this. And for those that might be watching this on the replay, and there's still time to come to the other sessions, this is where you're going to get all the value is coming to these in person. So I'll just share my screen. So I've decided to call this kind of kickoff session, "What Makes Toastmasters So Great?" And for this kickoff session, what I really want you guys to be able to get out of this is just a foundation for how we really want to think about why we're growing uh, Toastmasters. Why are we bothering marketing something? When we say the word marketing in social media, we just think a lot of ads and we think of a lot of corporate kind of stuff. But I've been in Toastmasters. This is my very first year. I'm the new guy in town, and everyone I talk to has a huge passion for Toastmasters. And for me, I think that's a big why for why we need to be doing this, why I'm doing some of this extra volunteer stuff, why I wanted to be a marketing chair, is that I just saw some value here. I've been getting a ton of value from it. And I think we all here are here because we really do see that ourselves. And if you disagree, then I question, why are you here trying to market something you're not a fan of? But because there are people, the survey responses have been awesome. We all know that there's something good here. So a couple quick things about me. I thought the obligatory have to talk about yourself for a little bit, but I run a marketing agency. We're called Market Pie, and we're all really about growing the pie for everyone. And we're not just, because businesses isn't just about growing businesses. a business is made up with a bunch of people in it. Those people live in a community, and those community people are also kind of in their own little collective. Uh, and basically, when I see businesses kind of growing, when I see organizations thriving, I see communities thriving, because, and there's always that interchange between them all. So we kind of have that as our kind of main mission, is to not just grow the businesses of people, but the people that are in them. Couple quick facts about me. Yes, I live in Smiths Falls, Ontario, little tiny place just below our nation's capital. Love it here. It's my very first house, and we just got a couple months ago, and I'm so really happy to be here. It's a beautiful town. A little bit about my background. I started in the newspaper business, actually. It was 2013, and I was just doing retail, just odd jobs and little retail things. And my parents were starting a newspaper company, and they didn't have a graphic designer or a salesperson. And I was not a graphic designer, and I was not a salesperson. But I knew that my parents needed some help, and they needed that. So I said, "Hey, I got some retail. Do you mind if I gave you a hand?" So 2 weeks later from hearing that news, I was moved out into Kemptville on my parents' couch, just trying to find a place to live in the meantime. And I helped them build a little newspaper. They did the lion's share of the work. I was just there helping. But what was really cool about that experience is I really got to know community. I really got to seeing what the needs are. And most businesses and organizations, oftentimes what I saw is that they didn't need new websites. They didn't need bigger ad campaigns. While all that stuff's good, a lot of people really struggle with is, how do we actually communicate what's really awesome about us? And us is, yes, the organization, but it's also us, the people. It's the people in all these things that are great. So I really valued that perspective. After that, I kind of went off on my own, stretched my entrepreneurial legs. I did a wedding photography business with my wife. We did that for about 5 years. It was an awesome little experience. Got to eat lots of tasty food and take pictures of just awesome people. So I really appreciated that. But the whole while, I was always doing marketing on the side. And now I have a little marketing agency, 5 people. We're onboarding 2 more, so we're growing, and I'm really excited for that. I'm married to a wonderful lady. She was my partner in crime in the wedding business. We got married when I moved to Kemptville, so that was definitely a bit of an exciting year for us, getting into entrepreneurship and marriage. She's Ness. She's wonderful. And yeah, I joined Toastmasters this year. But that's a little bit of my background. We'll jump into, I think, the real reason why we're all here, which is to kind of learn why we need to be doing some social media, some marketing for our clubs. So I'm going to ask you guys, and I'd really love to see you guys in the chat kind of respond to this. I kind of want to know, what do you guys think makes Toastmasters so great? If you got something in the chat, I'd love if you guys could just write up in there, just what do you think what makes Toastmasters so great for you? Why is it that you keep coming out week after week, month after month? What's that thing that's really that's gotten you through it there? So yeah, if you guys jump in the chat there, I'll give you a couple seconds. So Catherine said, longevity of the membership, support and encouragement, affordable learning fellowship. Yeah, I mean, this is all free for our members. This is huge value that we're all getting here. I'd like to, if I say so myself. A personal challenge, mentoring others in public. I like that, Todd. That's what's really huge about a lot of organizations, and why I think volunteering is such an important thing, is because, yeah, it definitely challenges you, and you have to have a reason why you do it outside of, because you're not getting paid. So why do you do it, right?
Yeah.
Elena said, shared interest with other members of learning. You're passionate about growing in knowledge. Yeah. So Lena's seemingly learning a lot while she's here. Carol says, it's polite and it's nice. Yeah, it's a good time. You don't maybe need to make it too complicated. And I've interviewed a lot of people before doing this course and coming up with the ideas. And a lot of the stuff, I've seen it. and this is why I decided to kind of go all in on Toastmasters, is because I've been seeing all this stuff. And the question though that I got is that now that I've had the experience of being on the inside and seeing so many excited people, one of the questions is why didn't I join Toastmasters before? Why didn't I really hear about Toastmasters? Like, there's a Toastmasters in literally every sort of every city that's big enough to have more than like 100 people. There's a Toastmasters there, and this kind of really confused me for a bit. So I started making me thinking, okay, I mean, most organizations, especially ones, that are, more more in the smaller, either nonprofits or they're not like having huge membership fees to be able to sustain marketing efforts. One of the things is I saw what's really holding us back, because it's the people that typically are the ones talking about Toastmasters. And I wasn't hearing a lot about it. And I thought that was really weird. Does anyone kind of have anyone in the chat want to kind of maybe think of maybe brainstorm real quick? What are some of the reasons that you think might be holding it back? Do you think it's because we don't have a marketing team? Every club doesn't have its own marketing team. Anyone think it's because we don't have a Super Bowl ads? I mean, it's not that we don't believe there's value in Toastmasters. So yeah, just in the chat, if anyone has an idea, or if you have no clue, just write no clue. Not as many people that can maybe think of what's really holding us back. Yeah, we get lots of, not enough marketing, but people are really busy already. That's very true, Carol. There's so much things that we have to do. So one of the things that I did in my research, one of the things that came up time and time again was two things. Is one, everybody hates sales. Nobody likes to sell anything. And nor should you, because, who likes selling to their friends? It's not fun. And two, we don't have unlimited resources. All these clubs are not things that have a paid person, doing a marketing chair for everyone. There's not someone who's going around evangelizing in all this free time that nobody has, right? And while we might not have lots of, marketing campaigns, Super Bowl ads, or all these kind of things, what we do have is we do have people. And I would say, if we're passionate about sharing a lot of this, a lot of these things that we're passionate about, that everyone just wrote about in the chat, if we're really passionate about that, I think it's worth at least an hour or two a month that we might be able to dedicate to trying to grow something that we've gotten a lot of value in, and that could really help somebody else. I wish I had joined Toastmasters 5 or 6 years ago when I started getting into business, if not earlier, and then I'd be already prepared for a lot of the business challenges. And the reason why, after doing all the research, that I really felt that I should do a social media course designed for Toastmasters is that, unlike any other type of marketing, social media is really just about people, and it's about relationships. And we know this because if you look at who does social media really, really well, like if you really pay attention to your Facebook feeds, your Instagram feeds, the people that do really well at social media in the business world are actually mom and pop shops. They're actually the independent business owner that just really is connected to their audience, to their community, to their people. And those people come off really authentic because they don't have some slick ad campaign. They're not out there, forcing everybody to buy from them and, throwing out all their deals out, though they might be doing things like that as well. And the people that actually do social media really bad is actually corporations with unlimited marketing budgets. I've analyzed some of the biggest brands, and when I look at what they do on social media, 90% of it is not effective. You guys, everyone has probably experienced this when you're flipping through maybe a magazine or your social media feed and you see the ads coming up and you just skip. Yeah, Janice said she certainly wished that she wanted to join one many years ago. Yeah, definitely feeling that. So I really think that social media, what it really does is democratized communication. It's given us access to just communicate. And what we've actually found is it's not the big corporations that do social media well, but it's those smaller mom and pop businesses, the small organizations that do it well. And while we oftentimes think about marketing ourselves, we try and think of, well, I gotta make myself sound really big and important and really kind of corporate. All the corporations are spending their millions of dollars branding to try and look like us, to try and look as authentic as somebody who's just speaking from their heart what they think about and know. And this is a really powerful thought. Like, I was looking through it. I don't have the number here exactly, but I saw a post that came up and it showed the 10 most expensive brands that came out there that were spent. And one of the most expensive ones was BP Oil. Their rebrand was in the billions of dollars, billions with a B. Their branding campaign. Why is that? Because they're not an authentic company. They've had a lot of corruption, they've had a lot of problems, and they have to spend a lot of money, do a lot of work, and they got to meticulously look at every single word they say. Whereas if I really wanted to market my business, I can pull out this little phone right here when it decides to load. Uh, New one incoming. I can jump on Facebook and I can then go hit live and I can start talking to people for 60 seconds. Maybe, can I put it? I think anyone in Toastmasters can talk for at least 2 minutes. If you've been in Toastmasters for a year, you should be able to do a table topics in 2 minutes. Give a little speech, say something meaningful, and give some little value to the world, something that people will find interesting. So I just want a yes or no in the chat, just to confirm the things that I've just said. Um, just yes or no. Do you guys find the speeches in your Toastmasters interesting? Like, do you laugh? When something is there? Do you find yourself laughing and having a good time? Do you learn something? Yes, yes, yes. Does anyone want to private message me and no? You can just hit the little private message no, and we're just not throwing anyone else. Informative, funny, interesting. More often, yes. Well, we're all learning, right? We can't always knock it out of the park. So if we know that everybody here in Toastmasters can give a speech that's entertaining and valuable that people find interesting and worth their while, and I've just told you that we have these little phones here that you can give a 2 minute, 7 minute, 30 minute, an hour, whatever you feel like doing, then what's telling me is that means that we have a really powerful way to market ourselves. So going back to the slide that I have up here, what's really holding us back? And to me, the thing that I'm finding about that is, and if I had to really answer this honestly, I would say two things that I found out. One is people fear the judgment, that people are going to laugh at them, think the thing they do sucks. And then the second one is people just not been really given permission to do something that they can do. Like, you all have seen the psychological kind of experiment, right, with the bystander effect, where somebody gets hit by a car or something or falls over on the street and there's a whole bunch of people standing around and nobody goes to help them, right? Is it because all those people are mean, or is it all because all those people don't care? No, every single person in there cares and wants to reach out and help. But there's a lot of things that happen up in our heads where we just don't, we need that permission. And once one person goes and breaks that and stands forward, and a powerful thing happens once that one person has taken action and blazed a bit of a trail, it gives everyone else permission to also do likewise. So I'm not a big fan of the mindset gurus, those people you see, the Tony Robbins kind of types of people, though they've helped a lot of people and done stuff. And I think there is some value in that. But there is something to a lot of those mindset kind of coaching in that. And there is some positive takeaways. And one of the things that we can take away, and why I really do want to spend some time on this, is because while we do have 6 courses lined up for you guys. I've already told you exactly what you need to do.
I know. I'm done.
Done. All right, we're good. We
Yeah,
all
we're
go
good.
home. That's it.
Coffee
That's
time. This is
coffee
awesome.
time. Go back. So, as to give you guys a foundation, and I'm actually I'm going to just jump over a couple things because I think this point doesn't need to be belabored much more. But what I think I really want you guys to get out of kind of this course is I want to try and find those things that are those roadblocks, right? Because sometimes, yes, now I've already told you what you need to do, but there is some other things that will make it a little bit easier conceptualized. It's the micro details. I saw in the survey, in fact, that's what I'm going to jump to right now. The survey results. I'm just going to share that with a couple of you guys here. So we did get 20 responses. That was pretty cool. We got some things here. Does Toastmasters Club know how to market themselves? We got 50% of people saying not sure, 35 saying no, 15% of you, well, they didn't show up to here because they're good. But 50% not sure. We pretty much know that means no. Some of the roadblocks that we're facing, and because I like to base things on data, like I had a guesstimate that social media would be really good way to go, but I actually based it off of a little bit of data. I had another pre-survey that I'd done with a smaller group. 11 people out of 20 said, and I think not everybody filled out the whole thing, but we had 11 saying lack of training. Some said no time. And I think without taking that at face value, sometimes we say no time because we think that marketing takes a lot of effort, but 2 minutes on your phone and you got your marketing done. So I think sometimes we got to work on some of these mindset things, right? Not knowing what to do. So yeah, we're going to tackle some of those things in this course, specifically in the Q&A in the last 2 sessions. I've left them kind of open because I really want to get your guys' feedback so that those last 2 sessions can be just, okay, what didn't I cover? What is the next area that we can really put in some value? Some team cohesion, yeah. So everyone's a little stressed, not wanting to sell, and 100% this course is not going to be about selling. It's going to be just about revealing what's awesome about Toastmasters. And we had a couple ones. Everyone said we should be doing training, so hooray, we're here. And there was a couple other stats that are interesting. 7 of you said that a weekly, monthly social media workshop was important. So obviously there are people probably skewing more to the leaders that want this. And 17 out of 20, so 85%, said that they wanted, I believe it's Google's kind of lining it up a little weird here. So it was either workshops or Facebook group to get advice and bounce ideas off of. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. The other one was, short online courses specifically made. There we go, for Toastmasters. So the other thing is we're not just doing social media courses here. What we're also going to do is I'm going to be providing a write-up of the takeaways of these so that these documents can then be used on an ongoing basis. So Todd, you were talking about earlier, right? The course that you've seen or your company was a part of.
Yes.
The challenge was, it's like, great, 2-day course. All right, go get them, Tiger. Well, you're going to need something to come back on. And if this thing is so complicated that a couple articles and a couple videos is not, like, if it gets so complicated that you have to be, super savvy digital person to do, well, I've not done my job right. So we're going to be dealing with that. And I've made the course, then that's why I put that portion in, because I didn't just want it to be live. I got the feedback and that. So I think that was most of the stuff that I got. Oh, yes, there was one more thing before. The other thing in talking about the mindset side of things is, why do you think, has anyone had an experience of talking about Toastmasters? Just maybe why, or yes in the chat if you guys have had a lot of experience. Have any of you guys actually talked to people about Toastmasters or before, or have you ever talked to anybody, yes or no, or done either just casually or trying to promote the good cause? We had a couple people. Todd invite Toastmasters. Did anyone get any basically what I'm looking for is, has anyone had any kind of flat experiences where they're like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll check it out. Has anyone had like some negative experiences trying to promote Toastmasters? Yeah, Melinda said, I do a lot of explaining of what it is. Wanted to start a company club and got some pushback and that. So this is the marketing side, and I'm going to make it really kind of simple. But nobody's joined yet. Yet, Janice, I like that word. That's a key word. Yet, that's the winner attitude poking through. But without getting too much into a marketing course, full-on marketing course, I'm going to just break it down into some really simple concepts. That Toastmasters, people don't do things because you say they're awesome. People do things because it's going to fulfill a goal that they have.
Right.
Basically, what's in it for them. And we're all so excited about Toast. And I fall into this, by the way, guys, all the time. I'm the person, like, I get ideas. It's like, I see this thing, I watch this article or video, and I'm that guy that overhypes the movie. You know, you go and you see a movie, it's really good, and then you just go tell everyone and you hype it up so much. Melinda, similar. I think she's the similar kind of boat as me. It's because we are so passionate, as we said back in one, what makes Toastmasters so great, and you guys shared all of that. But one thing that is also I want to work on, and this is specifically, especially when you're doing social media, is that we got to really figure out of what's in it for the people that we're talking to about. And there is some tactical things, like people need to be first aware we exist, because it doesn't matter what tactic you use or how you talk about Toastmasters. If people don't actually ever hear it in the first place, they don't see anything on social, they don't see it advertised, they're not going to come. But more importantly, they also know why they should join. And why they should join is not because you say it's great, but it has to be because something that they need, something that they're looking for. And you have to kind of understand that. And we're going to go into some of those things. And the other one is they don't want to be sold to. And anytime you're pitching Toastmasters, you're talking about, hey guys, I joined this awesome club, it's great. People don't want to hear that. And the social media landscape does not need to be filled up with more noise on that side. What they really need to do is they really need to just see Toastmasters in action. And going back to, I'm just telling you the straight truth, I'm not going to wait. We don't need to wait 6 courses. Is we just showing people what Toastmasters is by sharing our accomplishments, by sharing the things that we love about Toastmasters through video, through a little text, through a photo, a screen cap of your group, and you saying, hey, Toastmasters got me, I used to be so shy and I could never speak in front of a group. Like Melinda, Erin, in our group, right? And Beyond Toastmasters. I love Erin. She's like the bravest girl ever, because she definitely is. She usually communicates in words with signs that she has pre-written, so she doesn't have to speak as much. But lately, in this last couple of weeks, she's been really, getting out of her shell, and it's because of this awesome supportive community. So sharing that story with people is kind of the way that I think social media should be. And I think just by doing that, while we're not going to individually, we're not going to make thousands of people show up at our clubs, but if we all just if I can help maybe a couple hundred people in Toastmasters, give you guys permission to talk about Toastmasters, then I think we can have a sizable impact together. Is Alana there? Or wait, what was it? Who said it? Janice. I've talked to people, but nobody's joined yet. Well, if we start doing a couple small things consistently, I think we can make that yet happen. So I'm going to open this up to a couple questions. Does anyone have any questions? And you can just jump on the mic. You don't have to ask for permission. Does anyone have any questions about, kind of social media, marketing, or any of the stuff that we're going to go through?
Well, I have questions.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
So I'm new at figuring out how to work on the stupid phone. It's a smartphone, but I don't even know how to work it half the time. How do you get a video going on Facebook? I mean,
How
it
do you
may
get
sound like a really basic question, but I have no clue on how to, you say it takes 2 minutes to do something with this phone, but what do we do with this phone?
cool? Yeah, and that's exactly, you know what, I think for you guys, right after this session here, once we do the official stop, we'll go through it, and that's like I want to always make time at the end of sessions to just handle some nitpicky details that aren't maybe suited for the middle of
Yep.
the pack, but it's a really simple one. I mean, I'll go through it with you here on I'll just do a live training right now. So, I can open up my Facebook, and what I suggest is people don't jump into live right away. You don't want to go live until you've maybe done a couple videos first. But what pops up is at the very bottom. Oh, we'll see. Oh yeah, because
We can see it.
I'm using a DSLR that doesn't autofocus because I'm
Oh,
trying to
God.
I'm trying to be all professional. So what you can do is I'm doing this by looking at the screen. So you can just share a video that happened. Oh, there's my beautiful wife, by the way.
Very lovely.
You know what? Let's share. So if that was a video, you could just click on that and share, and then you hit the next button, and then it's ready to share. And then what you do is, as we said earlier, lesson done. You say something about it, give context to why someone would want to watch, your 2-minute video, saying, this is the speech that I worked really hard on for a couple weeks on researching a topic and giving my own little mini TED talk through Toastmasters. Tell me your thoughts. You don't have to talk about Toastmasters is great, you should join in every single post. You can just share your experience. I think your friends would love to. Everyone loves to celebrate wins, especially if you've worked hard on something. Does that answer your question a little, Catherine? We'll walk you through. I'll walk you through in more detail after.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Most people I tell forget after a day or two. Maybe it was my delivery. It's not your delivery. It's that we're all busy and that we don't talk about the thing. We don't talk about enough. A lot of people give up after they've said, oh, I've told like 4 or 5 people, or I made a video about this in Toastmasters International, actually. I kept hearing people saying, everybody I know knows about Toastmasters. So how do I reach new people? And to that, I'm saying, if I went and asked every single person on your Facebook friends list if they've heard of Toastmasters, I'll guarantee you 80% of them are going to say, I think I know what that is. And then another 15 will say, yeah, I've heard of it. And 5% actually will tell you what it actually is.
Agreed.
Marketing is about repetition over and over. And most of the most effective marketing is just the marketing geniuses are the people who just pick one way to market, whether it's the best or the worst, and they stick with it for 10 or 15 years.
Really?
And when they stick with it, 15 years later, all of a sudden it just starts working and they've built a business and everyone's like, wow, you're a genius. What did you do? And it's like, I just stayed consistent and worked at it for 10 years and I didn't quit and try something new every 3 months. Right. So again, expectations, my goal is not to just, make thousands and thousands of people join Toastmasters, though I would be happy if that happened. I think it would be beneficial to the world, but just to understand that all it takes, it's not going to be one big flash in the pan that we're going to do here that's going to, make all the people come cattle running in, or I'm messing up my analogy there. But what it's going to do, it's going to be small little things that you do consistently over time that doesn't bother people, but that just makes sure that your message is seen and people, after enough time, they get the message and then they'd want to join. So yeah, I jumped into another point. Anyone have any other questions or any other thoughts that they want to share?
Well, a lot of people always bring up it's Facebook, average market on Facebook, I had thought of it the other day, LinkedIn, and someone else had mentioned it too recently, or Instagram is becoming more and more normal, and other platforms that the younger generation is actually starting to find,
Mm-hmm.
Or we have one member that is learning, she's doing a medical trade. So her bedside manner is a big deal. Mm-hmm. So that's why she's interested in Toastmasters and wondering how to market to those actual real organizations specific that those people, or college students or high school students, that could really benefit from what's in it for them.
Yeah. Well, I think if we had if I was doing this as a marketing company to Toastmasters, it would be one thing. I'd have the advantage of being able to target specific people in a specific niche. And I would then, be able to go in and create content specifically for them. But as individuals, I don't think we're going to get to that level of complexity. What we
No.
can do, though, is we could share our truth and our story and what was in it for me. And we can find people that resonate with that. So there's a couple questions you had. One of them that I think is really important is if you're marketing to an organization, you're trying to convince somebody to join. Well, they need to see, well, what is in it for, like, how are we going to see value out of this?
Right.
And if nobody's ever shared a video of them saying, hey, here's the thing that I've worked on in my spare time, dedicated, a couple hours a week for perfecting my speech and things like that. And
Right.
this is what has enabled me to do X.
Yeah.
If no one's ever seen that message, then it's going to be really hard. Then it's just your word saying, trust me, Toastmasters is great. But if you've gotten those people in your network on your Facebook or your LinkedIn or Instagram, and you've shared content, then it's at least going to be in their subconscious. And if maybe they're not in your network, but we got to evangelize and get everyone kind of doing it. So that way we're all helping each other out, because it's not just coming from me. It's one person's not going to do it. But if they start seeing, hey, I didn't know I had 3 or 4 friends in Toastmasters, and every once in a while they share what Toastmasters has done for them. Oh, I kind of want that. Or, hey, my company could use that. Now Toastmasters is in their head when they're thinking of, pitching ideas of,
Right.
what kind of club.
Well,
That answer?
Yeah. And just to take it one step, I don't want to, that'll be my last one for now, but if we figured out what, like LinkedIn, for instance, I have over 500 contacts, and most of them are people reaching out to me because they want something from me, right?
Oh, the LinkedIn sales pitch. Yeah, I just,
you know what I mean?
delete.
So I'd love to flip this to say, all right, now you've asked me for stuff and my contacts, that's why everyone, whatever. And so if we all in this group how would we approach, let's say, all of our contacts in LinkedIn, and we all had a similar approach. And I love what you're saying regarding maybe doing a video of a quick thing of what I've done successful in Toastmasters, or someone else has done very successful in my club. And you just keep working that. I am reaching out to businesses who have tens or hundreds of employees. One of those might say, hey, what is this Toastmaster thing? And maybe they contact me or 10 other clubs. Who cares?
So there's a couple things in there. So I'm going to try and break some of those things down. First off, I'm going to deal with the funny one. Salespeople. The great thing about salespeople is that they're the ones intruding on your life. So you can set the tone from there. So what you can do with them is like, I don't do business with people that I don't have a relationship with. Hey, if you want to get to know me better, this is what I do every Friday night. I come to Toastmasters, come in for a free session.
Nice. I like that a lot. That's awesome.
If every single my goodness, all right, Toastmasters International, that you guys got to give me a commission on that one. I just thought of that one
right there.
But honestly, I mean, there's something about that, because I believe, and if anyone's doing any selling, like I really hope the value you get from this isn't just Toastmasters. If any of you guys are in business, like, take this. But pitching random people is not the way social media is there. Social media is there to build relationships with people, and relationships lead to business, to business, not just pitches. Pitches do work. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I'd say is that instead of taking the approach of trying to convince everyone to join Toastmasters or their company, why aren't you saying, hey, I got a lot of value out of Toastmasters. I'd love to, like if you were pitching somebody, and because obviously, you might have a quota that you're trying to, saying, hey, I do actually want to reach out. You want something a little more proactive. Saying it's like, like, this is what I just wanted to share with you, something that really impacted me. And you maybe share, a video And now if you've been recording your videos, you could show your first one, you
Right.
know, no people
Yeah.
can do that now, and your last one.
I know.
But that way, if you just get them in your network and then you just share useful content, you know, you're not actually pitching Toastmasters anymore. That's how you build a relationship with somebody, is saying,
Right.
hey, you know, I'm looking for other business owners. Like, what's your capacity in your pitching, by the way? Like, are you responsible for trying to get corporate accounts?
We're talking about my business or what I
For
for
Toastmasters, because
Toastmasters,
it sounded like you're talking to corporations about that.
well, I've been president, vice president of education, now vice president of membership. So I am trying to bring up 2 clubs, and I'm a club coach for another
Okay.
club. So I am trying to bring numbers up for 2 clubs, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's that one might be more of a sales approach. I mean, because obviously the only reason you're getting into someone's network is because eventually you want them to see your stuff and that. But I think just the main one of giving people, I think if you're sharing content on LinkedIn, what's great is that stuff that goes viral, there's things that are meaningful to people. So you don't always have to make, and what we're going to go into this in detail in the later sessions, but one of the things I'm going to talk about is you don't actually have to always saying, you know, here's what Toastmasters means to me. Here's a video. Sometimes just the speech on its own is the promotion. You don't have to talk about Toastmasters. You can just saying like, you know, this was a funny perspective on politics, or you know, or whatever the speech was about, or, you know, a funny story about this, and people start seeing, they like the stories you're sharing because they're actually funny stories. Well, then all of a sudden you can slip in little Toastmasters here and there in the comments and that, without making it so direct. Because if you're just sharing content that's actually good, people eventually pay attention. They don't tell you, but they're watching. Like, how many posts do you see that you actually like that you don't actually hit the like button? Like, you're watching, you know, you're watching what other people do. So that's the approach I think works best, is not the hard approach, the long game. But yeah, a more direct approach would be just to saying, hey, come on down. But yeah, man, that sales one, I'm liking that one. Well, any other questions that we might have there? Oh, I think there is a chat or two. Best way to market. Oh, wow, there's a couple there, so I got to scroll back there. On average, people have to see or hear something 7 to 10 times before they decide to action. I'd actually argue in today's day of short attention spans, it's like 14 or 15, but I get your point. Wow. Best way to market to people, like the woman Todd spoke of, to get a hold of, do testimonial for the club page. I think that's it. Social proof is so huge on any website that I'm helping clients make. I don't think you need a complicated website. I think you need 4 things. The anchor that tells you why are you here, and what, you know, are you going to get the thing you're looking for? Social proof telling you, or what it is that you're actually about. A social proof to prove the things that you say you do are useful, and a contact. Everything else needs a really good reason to exist. Otherwise, it's just fluff and it's getting you away. So yeah, social proof is one of the big 4. And on your, people like reading testimonial. People will see testimonials and videos of their experience. So sharing that on social is good. One of my Pathways projects was to gather testimonials from the members of my club and post them to your Facebook page. Was that Janice? Yeah, so Janice, would you be able to jump on the mic? Tell me about that. Have you done that yet?
Yes, I've only gotten, so far I did my own testimonial and I did another member's. I'm still waiting for the other members. But what I did for my project was I was in innovative planning. So level 4 was to manage a team. So the president of the club and I came up with the idea that for my project, I would gather the testimonials, edit them a bit, you know, add some headline titles and comments throughout the video, and then post that to our Facebook page to draw attention to our page. And hopefully
that's really great.
Members to our club.
My suggestion, and I don't know if this might not work for every club, is why don't you guys do a table topics? Why don't you do a table topics of testimonials? That's volunteer basis.
Really?
You're awesome. All there, hit record, bam, done. One session.
Oh my goodness, and recorded.
Wow.
Table topic testimonials and record.
Here, here all day, guys. I got a
I
million
know.
more of them there.
You got a million of them, right?
Well, maybe a couple hundred, but
I
let's
just
not
want
go
to say
crazy.
one thing to support what Janet, or to piggyback what Janet said. So we, at our club, we had done that. We had a whole list of testimonials, and we when people, anyway, we would use that when prospects would inquire. So, and I would send it out to them as a, hey, these are the 10, at the time, 10 pathways that you pay for. These are the things you get for free. And you read all the testimonials of what you get for free. And this is what you get for your money. So that was kind of cool, another way to utilize those testimonials.
I think, yeah, the what you get for free, I think, should always come afterwards, because people, you
Yeah.
always got to remember, people make up their minds first and then they look for justifications. So,
Good.
right. So
Nice.
they need to connect. That's why, like, think of any video you've ever shared on Facebook or remembered, right? It's something that connected with you emotionally and all of that. And whatever that person says after they've that video, you kind of tend to believe, right? And it's because, you've kind of already bought into what they're going to say. Like, I'd like to think I've done a decent job of upfront connecting with you guys. Like, I said some things, I did my research to say things at the beginning of this. If I'm had to micro break down what I'm, self-analyze what I did. A lot of the things I said was very purposeful to talk about the people, to talk about that organizations are about people, and that, because that's what's awesome about Toastmasters. That's what everyone said. So I said those things to, again, make a connection, so that when I later on tell you guys, what you actually have to do, you're more likely to believe it, because I've gotten that buy-in first. But you have to get that buy-in first. You can't just go telling people Toastmasters is great because you got to show them something that they care about first. You have to excite them with a funny story, a speech that really emotionally moved you, and then once someone sees something that they're excited about, like, oh, I'd like to talk like that, I'd love to be able to do a speech like that, or I just really liked being in that environment of people that talk like that, now all of a sudden, when you tell people, like, by the way, this is Toastmasters, and like, you can, like, this is what we kind of do. Now all of a sudden that actually has meaning, but we always get it backwards. We think we got to promote, when what we actually should be doing is connect. I did not plan that one, man. That was
Awesome, though.
Thank you for that question. That was a good one. Maybe we should all plan, prepare, and practice a speech at our clubs. We give an excellent table topic to our friends. Well prepared when we do speak to someone. Yeah, you know what it's called in sales training? It's called role playing. It's like, okay, it's like, you be a person that was just like, hey, what is Toastmasters? And then the person goes and says what they liked about Toastmasters. You evaluate it. I mean, if I had my way of running if I had to start a club all on my own kind of side, I'd probably completely change Toastmasters, but we can't do that, because we already know what a winning formula works for everyone. I'm a little extreme because I'm an over optimizer, but I would definitely suggest using your club's time, maybe once a quarter, to do some training do some fun stuff, something that's a little different, that allows people to do things. But that's just my personal opinion. Everyone should run their clubs how they want there. But anyway, Janice, the reason I wanted to bring you up is just, I just wanted to saying is, if you had any luck sharing that. And by the way, we're at 4 minutes. I'm going to respect everyone's time. I'm going to wrap this up. I will stick around for a couple minutes. If anyone gets some extra value, I'd be happy to stick around. But I did have one more thing that I wanted to present. So, commitment. We're at the end of this first hour. The Calvary's not coming, as I said at the very beginning. There's no one in head office that's going to magically make our clubs just start to happen and make all this start to work. I really believe the onus of this club's, of Toastmasters in general, is on the individuals. We're getting support from Toastmasters. Melinda is the lady that made tonight happen as well. She's another individual. And I'm just a dude here that joined a couple months ago and had an awesome time that I happened to, when she approached me and I said, yeah, I'd love to help out. Right. But not any one of us is going to do all this around. And it's really going to be up to you guys to spread the message out and get other people involved. And it's going to take some work, yes, it might not take all your time. We're not asking for lots of time, but I think if you guys are here today, there's probably a reason for it, because there's probably a need in your club, or maybe you just like helping. Whatever it is, I really hope that you can get something out of this. And I just put a little list of kind of 4 things that we can do right now. So this is the kickoff meeting. We got 6 courses that we're going through. I'd really like if you guys block off your calendars and come to the training. We're going to have lots of fun like this. I'm going to keep it really workshop-y. So there's lots of back and forth. It's not just going to be me talking to you for 45 minutes to an hour. Join the Facebook club, the Facebook District 45 Facebook group. So Melinda, if you could, I think I do have it. I'll put it in the text later on. There's going to be a Facebook group that I've just joined in, and I'm going to be posting the videos here. I'm going to be answering questions throughout the course as well. So if you don't get everything in this hour, I'm going to be there on Facebook. And if you join us with this journey and you do the stuff and you come to all these sessions live, you're going to get the benefit of having me in between, answer your questions. I'm going to try and give some bonus content, give as much value to everyone as I can. Because I know, as Todd said, a couple sessions isn't going to do it. It's going to be making use of the time we have and the work we do. If you guys haven't filled out the survey, I'll also post that in a minute or two and just in the chat there. I think I've gotten what I've needed from it, but it's always good to just get some extra data so that if we need to help other districts out, I can come to them with all this data and say, look, this is what people are looking for. That would be really helpful to me to help spread the word. And this next one is if you could tell your clubs, bring a friend to the next one. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this, and that you understand the work that I'm putting in behind the scenes. And so I really hope everyone gets as much value as this. So if you see that value, you've been getting it, then please bring a friend. And other than that, I'm just going to say thank you very much, guys, for coming by. And I look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks, as well as on the Facebook group. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Melinda, do you have a closer?
I just wanted to say as well, yes, the date for the next one is November November the 10th. It's every 2 weeks, and then we'll take a bit of a break for Christmas. The good news is, on the new District 45 website, we already have all the dates posted. They're always going to be this same hour on Tuesday nights every 2 weeks, so that we don't get confused. I just wanted to reiterate, first of all, I want to thank everyone for attending. I don't know if you're as excited about this program as I am, but I am pumped because I live in a very small town, and I've already got 100 ideas racing through my head of how to grow my hometown club, thanks to Mike. And I know that there's going to be more and more. But I want to reiterate the fact that even though he's made this approach seem very casual, he really has been working for months on putting this whole package together and thoughtfully planning the easiest way to not overwhelm a group of non-salespeople and help us easily embrace ways to recruit new Toastmaster members. And if you're off mute, did you feel tonight like you're a believer this really can happen without having to sell to people?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And I'll tell you, I just thought of something. Instead of doing an open house, I'm going to take some motivation from little tips that all of you gave and have a theme night. have a club celebration event where the table topics is what do you love most about our club? And the speeches are testimonials about professional or personal or community ways that we've benefited from the club, and have every single member bring at least one guest. So it'll be about celebrating the club, but what we're really doing is we're
Right.
marketing what's amazing about our club. So I challenge all of you to think about doing the same.
That's amazing.
Appreciate it. Well, that's the official end of things. I hope you guys saw that course outline that I just roughed out there, or I placed up there a second ago. But
Could you
if,
put it up again?
yeah, I'd love to there.
Take
So
a
at this
picture.
point, if anyone feels they want to get going off, this is the point where no one gets offended if you go. But I'll stick around for a little bit more and ask if anyone's got any other questions. Just want to hang out and talk. This is my favorite thing to do in the world is teach. So yeah, I'd be happy to stick around and answer some questions. So yeah, so this course outline this is my plan, but no plan lasts past the first engagement in battle, because again, I'm going to be getting feedback along the way, especially in the Facebook group. So especially those last two pages. That's why the last two don't seem as branded and, like don't have as much of a fancy title, because there's a good chance that I'm just going to spend those last two ones and I'm just going to ditch whatever I was thinking of. And we're just going to go, you know what? I'm going to walk people through making posts, and we're all going to just do posts together. Like that's it,
Yeah.
right? We're all going to make some videos because they've done the training from week to week, and they're gonna, yeah. So that's how we're going to be going. Yeah, I'd open up to anyone else. If anyone else has more questions, want to go into detail, some nerdy detail, I'd be happy to jump in. Oh yeah, the Facebook group. Good point. Oh, can I unshare that so I get my screen back? I'm just gonna do it because I need my screen. Yeah. Does anyone have any other more tech issues, like how to post on Facebook or how to even use?
They wanted to know how to post on LinkedIn, like a
LinkedIn?
video or a photo or a topic. Yeah, like
LinkedIn is surprisingly way better than Facebook. If you had the same audience on LinkedIn and Facebook, you'll get way more views on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. It's a much better platform for organic,
Right.
Especially if you're very on topic, because it's more of a business community. So as long as you're keeping that in mind, people, District 45.
I did a presentation, an international presentation on building science, and I could have posted that on LinkedIn and matter of fact, they even recorded it. So I can post that and just say, I can say, hey, thanks to my Toastmasters, group, think I knocked it out of the park. Why don't you check out this building science thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's you saying, I'm not selling Toastmasters directly, and they're watching this building science presentation.
In fact, yeah, even if you made the pitch or the title at the top, actually just promoting the presentation, and then in the comment, you can make your first comment saying, by the way, this was my Toastmasters thing. What do you think? That way you're getting people more about the content and you're making the sale last, as opposed to, again, making your feed sound like, oh, he's talking about Toastmasters again. It's like, people know that you gotta promote, but you're getting that connection first, and then
I love it. So, but you're saying, all right, I'll figure out how to get that stuff on LinkedIn at some point.
Yeah, it's just like Facebook. You just go on. And do you use desktop or your phone mostly?
For LinkedIn so far, it's been my phone. But I'll
show you just the screen as well, just because I have this one up right now. But I mean, it's just like Facebook, right? Photo.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, my Finnish friend Raimo from high school. So I am not Finnish. It's just that's why there's crazy languages there. Yeah, just photo, video. You post an event, article.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, video there. You post a
Then
video.
it'll retrieve it from wherever you have it on your browser or on your computer, right?
Yeah, but if you're on a phone, which is typically where we'd probably do, it's the same thing. It's just like Facebook. There's a little app Oh, why don't I
Okay.
just go through it? LinkedIn Live, you can't do unless you get permission and you've gotten a certain reputation, which is again why LinkedIn sometimes is better because the content is, it more heavily encourages good content. So I'll just
I
share my.
always thought LinkedIn was more like posting your resume type of thing and for
It
people.
was. So LinkedIn used to be really bad for engage. Like it was like this place that was this ghost town. It was like trying to be Facebook's little business brother, I guess, a little more harder working, not as exciting. So nobody was really on the platform for that. But in the last like 2 years, it's actually exploded and it's actually become a content platform, kind of like
Yeah.
Facebook was. So remember, I'm not sure if anyone was on Facebook like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but Facebook used to be you post something and like everybody would see it,
Yes.
like everyone. And then, well, LinkedIn is, while not exactly like that, it's kind of like Facebook was like maybe 4 years ago, but that window's starting to close. So like this is the opportunity. So like I did some tests. So my LinkedIn is not as big as my Facebook. So Facebook should have the advantage, but I get more. Usually, I'm going to get more views, more engagement on LinkedIn than I'm going to get on Facebook because Facebook is like, we have so much content. We don't want to share it. We want to just really limit it unless it's awesome content or they're paying. On LinkedIn, they're like, we don't have enough good content, so we're going to share it with your whole crowd.
Yeah. Is it true what they say, like if Facebook only sends out information with like your top 25 people? Is that really true?
Um, I'm not the algorithm expert, but my
Yeah.
general understanding of it is, and no one really is because it's all secret. But
Right.
essentially, what most of the algorithms do is some form of gated content. So they're going to send a test out to 20 people, and if those 20 people like, love, stop and actually read it, like Facebook can tell when you stop and read something. So even if
Yeah.
you don't like it, Facebook
Yeah.
is like, he really likes it. So it has that data, and Facebook knows, man. There's
Oh, yeah.
Zuckerberg is not a dumb guy. But anyway,
Right.
so what it does is if those kind of people get good engagement, then it's going to show it to more people because it's like, okay, this is good content, and then it's going to keep sharing it to more and more people until you get viral, which is this content is so good, it's going to keep people on. Because remember, Facebook doesn't care about your content.
No.
What they care about is they care about, do people think Facebook or LinkedIn thinks this is a good platform to get something interesting? That's why if you take your business page and you spam it out to 50 different Facebook groups, each one's only going to get 1 or 2 views, if not 0, because
Right.
Facebook's going to go, nobody wants this.
Wow. And bury it. Yeah.
Really? Huh.
So yeah, no, good content always wins. Does it win right away? No, because it takes time to build up, just like it takes time to build up trust with people. If you're always out there, if you just do 5 or 6 pitches about Toastmasters or your best videos and no one likes it, it's not, is it because the content sucked, or is it because you haven't been doing it long enough for people to, hey, they see a video by this guy and maybe it's a Zoom video, not the greatest quality, they just skip through it. But if they see you doing that month after month, maybe once a month, once or twice a month, I'm not talking about spamming people, but eventually people are going to go, okay, I'm going to check this out. I've seen it. It obviously means something that he stuck to it for 6 months or a year. But if you only think about trying marketing as in like, okay, I'm going to post videos, and if it doesn't work out in 3 weeks, well, I posted every day and I didn't get anything. Well, it's like, you didn't give anyone any trust. And that's, people instinctually know not to trust things that are here today and gone tomorrow.
How about YouTube? YouTube video, YouTube as a channel. Is that?
Oh, it's I mean, it's the second biggest search platform on the planet. After Google, like people, like when I'm looking for something, if you're looking for a recipe, you can look up on YouTube, right? Like you don't even, some people don't even look up in Google. They just go to YouTube to look up things.
Figure out how to fix something, right? How to fix an engine.
Yeah.
I fixed my car. I fixed my old car that I owned by looking up on YouTube. And I'm not even joking. I was ready to pay $400. I Googled it while I was waiting for the tow truck. I YouTubed it.
Yeah.
And I fixed the issue with the starter myself. It was a known issue on Pontiac Grand Ams, and I saved $400.
Wow, I'm impressed. I've got a lawnmower. Can you give me a hand?
Carol, did you have something you wanted to say? Or are you saying bye?
Ask you, I'm not very good with this Facebook. So if I wanted to go to the 45 Facebook, what do I type in and where?
If so, do you have a Facebook account?
Yes, I do, because I'm writing a book.
Oh, that's awesome. So so click on the link. Are you on a phone right now or a computer?
I'm on my iPad.
You're on your iPad. So why don't you click on the group right now? We'll walk you through it.
Oh,
And
what?
in the chat, you might need to open up the chat. So in Zoom, at the bottom of your screen, do you see a little chat window? Does it give you the option, a little speech bubble?
There, chat thing. Is that what you mean?
It's
Facebook.
yeah.
You're talking in Zoom, not in Facebook, aren't you,
Yeah,
Michael?
she's just in Zoom right now. Oh, are you in Facebook or are you in Zoom right now, Carol?
I'm just in Zoom.
Perfect. So yeah, if you go into the chat, there it depends on what your iPad is or whatever, how it's formatted, but there should be something that says chat. Do you see that?
Yeah, I've got it up there now, and I see somebody put a Facebook.com group and then a lot of numbers. Is that
That's the link. Yeah.
okay?
Spam, I promise.
So what do I do now?
Does it open up into your Facebook?
I haven't. You want me to touch it?
Yeah. Just click right on that link there.
I'm not sure that my iPad knows about my Facebook.
Well,
Can you copy it?
Why don't you,
How would she copy it, Michael?
well-
Sorry. I'll be quiet.
I'm learning. I do have an iPhone. Maybe I can try that, but I don't even.
You could type in. The other thing you can do is, hey, I'll give you the words to type in. That if you do a search on Facebook, that might be another way of doing it.
Okay, yeah. Look, I'm going to close this.
There you go. So
Well, you can't see, but I've got mine up, and now I just typed down District 45 Facebook group. I type in.
Yeah, try District 45. Or if you go into Facebook and in the search bar on Facebook, you type in, District 45, District 45, and you probably have to do that VPPR group.
I'm going to try it the easy way. Face, F-A-C-E.
Yeah.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Face.
Oh yeah, you don't go through the browser. Do you have a Facebook app?
I don't think so. Like I said, I'm just getting used to this.
Oh.
Don't let me try. You keep talking. I don't want to waste your time.
Okay. Anyone else have some other questions that they'd like to get through? Any other takeaways from this? Like anything that you learned that you weren't expecting that no? We're all good?
I really like the idea of doing having tabletop testimonials, and probably somebody in my group that knows how to do the video.
See, Carol, that's what you want to use your group for, right? Is not everybody needs to be the tech person posting it, but everyone could pull the resources together, right? Like maybe you could be the leader in your group saying, hey, I talked to this smart young man that said that we should probably be doing some testimonial videos and posting on Facebook. I don't know how to make videos though. Could someone help me make a testimonial video? And by you just asking that question, someone's going to help you. And then they're going to think, hey, maybe I should do that,
I know, and I was in the humor speech contest, and I won it for, the little area that I'm in. And I was thinking that might be fun to have, me up there being pretty stupid. They might, the people might enjoy that.
Carol, I as soon as before you even said that, I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna take the time and help this lady, because I bet you anything that she'd be making the best Facebook content out of any of us here. And then you said you're that. You get the Betty White effect working for you. It's like people are like, I just gotta listen to what this lady has to say. You never know, right?
Oh dear,
So
yeah.
put it out there, and apparently other people agree too. So yeah.
I'll try to find the district on my big computer.
Yeah,
And
you know what you have as an advantage that most other people in this room don't have.
Hmm.
Kids,
What?
kids, and people who have had a couple years as well have this advantage, is that they stop caring about what other people think, and then they just do something that they want to do. Carol, I think you do. Do you think you'd be good at that? Doing some
Yeah,
videos?
I think I would, because the reason I joined Toastmasters was to promote my book.
Yeah. What's your book, Carol?
Well, my husband, who died 5 years ago, was a hoarder. And we lived in two sort of normal two-story story. But when he died, I had not seen 90% of his stuff. I had only been married to him 12 years, and I'm still dealing with it. But I found a lot of interesting things, and I've got a lot of funny stories. So
Oh my goodness. So Carol, what you got to do is you need to do a vlog, a video blog, Carol, where you just kind of share little things you found. I bet the internet would love that. You're gonna be you could be a YouTube star if you just shared these little funny stories of what you found in a hoarder's house. I can only imagine.
I love that show.
Yeah, I think you already got your audience right here. I think everyone's into that. It's like it would it make yeah, go on.
I'll put you on my Facebook group, and then
There
you
we
can
go.
buy a book or have it free. Usually they're giving them away free now. So
Whatever. If you're doing it for the love, then why not? Get a good story out there.
I was a bad wife to a hoarder. Very bad. I got a lot of bad stories to tell.
Oh my
Lessons
controversy.
learned.
So I knew it. As soon as I saw Carol, I was just like, yeah, I want to see her story. I want to know her story. Awesome, guys. Well, if everyone's good, I'm going to head out for the night. I have spent a little time with that wonderful lady I talked about.
job.
And thank you guys again for coming. It means a lot to me. And I'm really happy that everyone got a lot of value out of this. At least what you said, I have to take you at your word, but I'm looking forward to the next one, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And so yeah, join us in this journey, and let's see if we can make Toastmasters, as good as we know it is. So, all right, take care, guys. Thanks again,
Later.
Melinda.
Thanks, Mike.
now.
Bye-bye.
Excellent.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, Michael.
All right.
Looking
bye.
forward to the next one in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, I want to get that recording from you there, Melinda.
Yep. I will get notification probably within the hour, and I'll forward it to you.
Wonderful.